Welcome to RPG Capper, the channel where we cap RPGs of various design. Coming to you live from the soda mansion where the bottle caps live and the CO2 bubbles never stop rising. Today's game, The Legend of Zelda for the Nintendo Entertainment System. The cap is 16 hearts. Our current status, 3 hearts. Let's get started on the adventure. The Legend of Zelda. Many years ago, Prince Darkness Ganon stole one of the Triforce with power. Princess Zelda had one of the Triforce with wisdom. She divided into 8 units to hide it from Ganon before she was captured. Go find the 8 units, Link, to save her. All of treasures, heart, container heart, fairy, clock, rupee, 5 rupees, life potion, second potion, letter, food, sword, white sword, magical shield, boomerang, magical boomerang, bomb, bow, arrow, silver arrow, blue candle, blue ring, red ring, power bracelet, recorder, raft, step ladder, magical rod, book of magic, key, magical key, map, compass, triforce. Please look up the manual for details. Okay, we got the gist of all that. Now, let's see what else we can do. Alright, welcome to The Legend of Zelda, the game where you, as the hero Link, must now find 8 pieces of the Triforce, enter the dungeon of the evil Ganon, and rescue Princess Zelda, and restore peace to the land of Hyrule. That's pretty much the plot in a nutshell, so let's just get down to the game mechanics itself. Right now, you're seeing a screen with 3 save files, all represented by the sprite of Link. And the hyphen to the right indicates the life or the hearts that Link has that represents his life. So we have a couple options here that we can select. There is register your name in elimination mode. Register your name allows you to register a new name to create a new save file, and elimination mode allows you to eliminate an existing save file. So we don't have any save files here, so we're just going to register our name. So we have an alphanumeric list here to choose from, and we are going to just put in our name to create our little file like we did with Dragon Warrior. So let's just enter in our little name here. Nope, you can't. Okay, so let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can only put into 8 characters total. Okay, so let's just move from here. Alright, so that will pretty much do as our name. There's other files we can register our name to, but we only really need 1 file here. And unlike Dragon Warrior, we can't copy our save files, so we gotta be careful. So we're gonna register this, and we're nicely registered. And so as you can see, with a newly registered save file, we see our name to represent our save file, the hearts to represent our total lives, and pretty much the number of down below represents the number of saves that we have done throughout the game. So that is pretty much a save accumulator. So every time we save a game, that number accumulates by 1. So anyways, let's get into game. So what you see here is you have your Link. He can move. It's a top it's a top-down view, so like, or in other words, a bird's eye view. So Link can move left, right, up, and down. And we have a little menu screen. So I'm just gonna pause it here by pressing the select button. Link can actually do one of two things, and it's represented by B and A at the top of the screen. So in the upper right corner, you see Link's total life, which is represented by hearts. So right now he has 3 full hearts, and those hearts will be shaved off either by a whole heart or half heart, depending upon the strength of the enemy that he comes up against. A weaker enemy will shave off half a heart, while a stronger enemy will shave off a whole heart. But there can be enemies that can even shave off even more than 1 heart later on in the game. Link's total life bar can go up to 16 hearts, and you can collect additional heart reserves by finding heart containers, which can be acquired by discovering secret areas in the game or by defeating bosses in dungeons. And so the cap for the game is 16 hearts. So we're going to be gunning for all 16 hearts in the game. In the upper left corner of the screen, you see what is in that gray box represents the entire overworld area of Hyrule, and the small green dot represents Link's current position. So the entire overworld area is represented by 128 screens, and this is the starting area for Link. And the position of the dot will change depending upon which screen Link exits from and enters into. The little jewel you see at the top that is represented by a multiple of 0 represents the rupees. The rupees are money in the game. Link can collect rupees by defeating various enemies along the way, or by discovering secret areas where monsters will gift him rupees. But the most common way to acquire rupees is to slay monsters and collect the ones that are dropped down. Flashing rupees are represented with a value of 1, while blue rupees are represented with a value of 5. The key represents the kind of the keys that Link will collect throughout the game in various dungeons. Now he can also get or the kind of keys you can purchase in shops. The keys are used to unlock locked doors in the dungeons. That's pretty much what they are. And later on, there is a master key which Link can get, which will serve as a skeleton key to unlock all dungeon doors, which makes old keys obsolete. Now that blue circle below the key it represents the bomb. Bombs are special sub-weapons that Link can acquire to help either A, destroy enemies along the way, or B, to reveal secret areas. Now we're going to be making use of bombs very frequently. They are a vital sub-weapon to help us explore every last nook and cranny of this game. For now, Link can hold up to a capacity of 8 bombs, but that capacity can be expanded to 12 or even 16 bombs if Link were to encounter certain merchants in dungeons who can help expand his capacity at a cost of a certain number of rupees. Now, B and A represent the 2 controls for Link. The A button will represent his sword. When you press the A button or the key that is mapped as the A button, Link will be able to thrust with his sword and use it to attack enemies. And if he has a full life meter, meaning that if he has not taken any damage from enemies, he can shoot his swords as projectiles at his enemies from a safe distance. And it is a nice little convenience, but it's also difficult to manage because Link may very well get hit by the enemies at some point. So it's always important to keep Link's health at full as much as you can, so you can have the convenience of shooting sword projectiles at your enemies. Now B represents a gadget or a sub-weapon that Link can use. It could either be the bombs, or it could be he could shoot arrows from a bow, or make use of other little specific items like a candle, or maybe of a magic wand to help him gain another advantage over the enemies, or just change the room's environment, or help him reveal other secrets. We'll explore this more along the way. So, if I were to press the equivalent of the start button here, or the key mapped as the start button, you can see there's a little cursor in the box that allows Link to select the different gadgets he will acquire throughout the game. Now, these gadgets can be acquired in store or found in dungeons. And tells you you have to use the B button for this. The Triforce, as you can see, representing by the equilateral triangle down below, is a space that will be used to fill. That will be used to fill the That will be used to fill the area with Triforce pieces. Now the Triforce that Link needs in order to access Ganon's dungeon has been split into 8 different units. So we need to collect all 8 of these little pieces, or the units, to put together the Triforce of Wisdom, and use it to access Ganon's dungeon, so we can actually defeat Ganon and retrieve the Triforce of Power, which is another Triforce that Ganon possesses. But at this point in the game, both the Triforce of Power and Wisdom are used to help keep Hyrule's power balance in check. Although there will be another Triforce that can be acquired in future games that can help even it out as a full trifecta. But for now, we need to hunt down the 8 pieces of Triforce, put them together, and access Ganon's dungeon and save Princess Zelda. So any new stuff that we're gonna come across, I'll just explain as we go along the way. So anyways, let's just start off by entering this little square cave here, because all the locals live underground. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. So here's our first item that we'll collect, this sword. Automatically equip the Link, and it can be used to thrust and throw sword projectiles. So there you go. So we can exit out of the west, the east, or the north. So I'm gonna go north, and here are the enemies that we can face. These are Octoroks, and if we were to shoot them as so, they die off instantly. Some enemies will take more than one hit to kill, but right now we're dealing with the weaker stuff. Now, red enemies are enemies that are colored red are weaker, and enemies that are colored blue are stronger. Here's another cave, so we can go in here. Buy something, will ya? So here's all the items that can be purchased with the rupees, but you need 160 of them to buy this larger shield, which can be used to help defend against more powerful enemy projectiles, because Link's current shield is a small one, and it can only deflect against small stones. Not against not against other enemy projectiles like fireballs. A key here worth 100 and a blue candle worth 60. But we don't have any money right now, so we have to go and start. We need to go and get some money. Okay, we collected our first rupee, and it was a blue one, which is worth 5. Now that enemy in the channel is called a Zora. It's a fish monster that will shoot fireballs at you, which we cannot deflect with our current shield because it's too small to do so. Here's a dock, but we can't make use of it. We need to get a raft in order to cross across. There's a ferry. Ferries can recover more than 1 heart, but that's only if we have lost a lot of health. And if you were to lose a lot of health, fairies are definitely a godsend. And 1 heart, and then this flashing heart here only restores 1 full heart in Link's life meter. So we're getting a lot of fairies, but we do need to get some. We do need to start getting some better items. I mean, would like to get some bombs. But for the time being, we can still build up our cash reserves to buy some other items, such as the blue candle we saw earlier. Okay, we got 20 rupees. flashing rupees are only worth 1. These are Tektites. They like to hop around, but you can get some good rupees out of them. Okay, here's the clock. You get that? Link will flash and all the enemies and it will stop the movement of all the enemies on screen. However, that effect wears off as soon as Link moves off the screen. These are moblins. They can shoot some spears at you. More fairies, but we don't really need them right now. And now these little flying cactuses are basically called pea-hats, but they can only be hit when they're on the ground. They can't be hit when they're moving because they are in the air. It's annoying to have to take out all of them, but it's pretty much doable if you're patient enough. Okay, we got hit, and remember, when you get hit, you lose your ability, and your life meter gets partially taken off, you lose the ability to shoot your swords. Alright, let's just see what I can get. Okay, so we can buy other items here, like an arrow, or a large shield or bombs. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some bombs. So now that we are fully equipped with bombs, we can start blowing up holes in walls, and reveal more secrets. So here's what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna go back to the shore, and we're gonna blow ourselves a little hole in the wall, because that's how you reveal secrets. So when you want to blow a hole in the wall, first you have to check to see if the side of the wall is straight. You can't blow a hole in walls that are uneven. They have to be nice and even like this, and they can only be blown up on the south side. Not from anywhere else. And when you see a black box open up on the side of the wall like that, and you hear a special little tune, that indicates you reveal the secret. So let's go in. Take any one you want. So you're given two options. You're given the Water of Life, which can actually restore your life meter to full from 2 uses, or you get the heart container, which provides you an additional life heart for your total life meter. So in this instance, you always want to go with the heart container, because you can buy this. You can actually just buy this in special shops anytime you want later on. So now we've added an additional heart to our meter. Okay, so with that being done, let's just move on and see what other end. So we revealed another secret. Let's see what's this. Uh-oh. So pay me for the door repair charge. Some residents who live underground wouldn't like it when you blow their doors open. So they will end up charging you 20 rupees to repair the door. Now these guys are scattered throughout. So you have to be very careful when you blow up certain walls in a game, because otherwise you might end up paying for it. You might end up paying the price rather than gaining. And even rather than just gaining even more, rather than just gaining even more of a price to use for yourself. Sorry if that didn't sound right. Like I said, I'm not good at finding the correct adjectives. So let's see what's in here. Now, I could probably replenish my stock of bombs, but here's the thing. I can get bombs for free from certain enemies. Like these guys, these moblins, these bulldog-faced minions who throw spears at you. And remember, your current shield that you have right now, the small one, can deflect stones and spears. But fireballs, you're going to need a larger shield for that. And you also have to watch out, because every time you thrust with your sword, you put your shield aside to do it. You gotta... See? And that's what happens. You will end up getting hit. Okay, we replenished the supply with bombs. Partially, though, because our capacity is 8, not... There we go, full 8 bombs. So now we can go blow up some more walls. Okay, here's another one with expensive items, and I need 10 rupees to buy a blue candle, which helps reveal more secrets and light up darkened rooms in the dungeon. So right now, we only have one item to use in our inventory, which are the bombs. Now you see those statues over there are called Armos. They're enemies too, and they only come to life when you touch them. But they can only come to life when you touch them from the north, and west side. You do not want to touch them on the south side, otherwise you'll get hit. Okay, we have enough money now to buy a candle, a blue candle that is. And sometimes Armos leave can reveal secret passages, like this one. And some moblins are not all hostile. Some of them can also give you money to help you on your quest. Not all moblins work for Ganon. Some don't even believe in Ganon's cause. No. So we're gonna bomb this, see what's in here. Oh look, another moblin who will give you money. Now we're in the triple figures, which is good. So here's a little rock known as Spectacle Rock. Let's see what it has. Alright, another heart. Got our 5th. Okay, so now we have 5 hearts to our total. And also, if you were to collect a certain amount of hearts, you can upgrade your sword. So, remember, as we saw in the intro, there's 3 swords in the game. Here's the standard bronze sword. The white sword can be acquired a little bit later, but it also has to depend upon how many hearts you have in your inventory. So, I'm not sure if it was 5 hearts or 6 hearts in order before you would be eligible to collect. So we can go up these stairs, because now we're in the mountains. So these are the Lionels. These are mountain-dwelling monsters who can shoot their own swords at you, and they are extremely dangerous, so you have to be very careful when you approach them. So here's the first sword upgrade. Master using it and you can have this. Now, if we have enough hearts, we can take the sword. If not, we'll just go through the sword. And we do have enough hearts. So now we got ourselves a better sword, which can now cut down on the number of hits that we need in order to defeat the enemy. Oh look, there's this, and after all, sometimes you want to also check behind the waterfalls because there could be secret caves. So here's an old woman who could give you some good information. So, but she'll only reveal it at the correct price. So, let's just try for minus. So let's see if we pay 10 rupees. You can either pay her 5, 10, or 20 rupees. Depending upon how much you pay her, she'll either give you all the information or none of the information. This ain't enough to talk. So you can see she's a bit of a greedy old hag. So let's go with a full 20. Go up the mountain ahead. So that's a clue, which will lead us to a special area. But we're going to deal with that a little bit later. Then we have to deal with some falling rocks. You can't fight the falling rocks with your sword, so you can only outmaneuver them. Okay, so what we're going to need to do now is find ourselves... Okay, it looks like we're back. So once again, another server hiccup by Twitch, which I'm not happy with, but them's the breaks, I guess. Okay, let's go back to this shop and get ourselves that shield. And I'm sorry, the candle. Okay, we have another item to add to our inventory. So we now have bombs and a candle. So when you use a candle, you can throw a flame that can destroy enemies or light up rooms in a dungeon. But the candle can only be used once per screen. If you want to use it again, you have to exit from the screen and come back to the screen in order to use it. Like so. And then after that, Link will not be able to use the candle again until he re-enters the screen. But here's what we're going to be doing right now. Later on in the game, this is a blue candle, so it can only be used once per screen, whereas there will be another candle, which we saw as which can be used multiple times in the same screen. Anywho, so we toyed with things around, and we toiled around enough around here. So let's enter our first dungeon. So here's the first dungeon in the game, the Dungeon of Eagle. We enter this ominous looking entrance like so, and here we go. So here's what happens when you're inside a dungeon. The status screen changes. Instead of getting the Triforce screen, you're now going to have the map screen. The right the light orange colored box you see there will represent your map, and the map slowly gets filled in as you wander from room to room. The black boxes will indicate a chamber inside the dungeon, and your green dot represents your current position. The little extra, the smaller boxes that are attached to larger boxes indicate exits from each chamber room. Now, there will also be secret chamber rooms that will not be indicated by a black box, but we'll discover that later on. Link can collect 2 essential items inside this dungeon: the map, which allows him to see all the known rooms within the dungeon itself, and the compass, which will pinpoint the location of the piece of the Triforce, since every dungeon will have one piece of the Triforce. And the ultimate goal in every dungeon is for Link to collect a Triforce piece. And every Triforce piece will be more difficult to get than the previous, based upon the level of the dungeon. So here we are on level 1. So we're gonna enter this western chamber here, and we are dealing with 3 bats known as the Keys. And depending upon certain events in the room, if you destroy all the enemies in the room, a certain item appears, like this here key. We get a key, it increments our total key counter by 1. And other items can also be revealed depending upon whether you kill all the enemies or do another certain thing in the room. And some enemies will carry certain items within their own bodies, like these Stalfos enemies here, which are skeletal enemies. We will also just attack Link at any turn. Later on, we're going to be dealing with these guys who can shoot swords at Link, so we have to be careful. So here's a locked door. When we go right up to it, the door will unlock, and the total key number will subtract from the total. If we don't have a key, that door will stay locked. So let's move into the next room. Alright, nothing of interest here. Let's move into the next room. We got ourselves another key, so let's keep looking around. Okay, here's the compass. You collect it, you see a flashing red dot. That flashing red dot indicates the room that the Triforce piece is in. But we still have a ways to go before we can get to the Triforce piece. And the Triforce piece will always be heavily guarded by a guardian of the dungeon. If you beat the guardian, you'll be rewarded an additional heart container, and you can collect the Triforce piece. Now, we've also encountered another door called a shutter. A shutter will shut right behind Link and will not open up again unless a certain condition is met, which can mean either destroying all the enemies in the adjacent chamber or even moving special blocks, which you'll see shortly. So we're going to unlock this door. Let's go in here. Now here's another shutter, and we have these tiny little blobs called gels. So let's see what happens. We kill off all the gels in here, but that door does not open. So we're going to need to do something else to open the door. So here's a lone block. And what we're going to do is we're going to push against it. We solve the little puzzle, and the door now opens, so we're free to move through. Eastmost Peninsula is the secret. So you'll also find these old men here in the dungeons will provide you with some extra bits of information that you can use to find new clues and or other hidden items. But this game was not very well translated when it was first released, so it's kind of a little bit of a similar situation with Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. So what you'd have to do is you need to understand the context of what these men are trying to tell you, so that you can take their words and associate it with the secret you're trying to solve. So Eastmost Peninsula is a secret, so we would have to go to the Eastmost Peninsula of Hyrule to see what that secret is. But in any case, let's move on within the dungeon. Now there is another item that we need, the map. So first we'll take a look here. We found the compass, so it appears in our inventory screen. So we're going to get this. We now have the map, so now the entire dungeon and all of its known chambers are revealed. And the dungeon itself is shaped like an eagle, so there you go. So and all the known rooms that all the rooms that we have explored will be outlined in black. Now there's still plenty more chambers that need to be explored. So we have the map and the compass. So now all that's left to do is to find a special item and then collect the Triforce piece. So we're gonna take a key, open this up, we're gonna head to the eagle's head. Now these are Gorayas, kangaroo-faced monsters who shoot boomerangs at you, and they mean business. But if you defeat them, okay, they will also leave. Certain Gorayas will leave behind a special item, which we'll discover a little bit later. Okay, these little spikes are called traps. If you move adjacently to where they are, they'll close in on you and try to skewer you. So you have to maneuver carefully around them. Now here's a staircase surrounded by blocks. We need to move a special block to get into that stairway. Like so. We're gonna move this way. And we found the first prized item of the dungeon, the bow. Okay. So the bow gets added to our inventory, but we can't use it because we need to equip arrows to that bow. And to get arrows, you need to go to a shop in the overworld. So we've gotten all other items except the Triforce piece. So let's head towards the Triforce piece, which is located in the right wing of the eagle. Fortunately, Link's shield can deflect a boomerang. And okay, now we got ourselves another special item, the boomerang. So if we were to change this to that, and press the equivalent of the B button, we can toss a boomerang. Boomerangs can do several things. It can destroy weaker enemies like Keese, the bats, or gels, the miniature blobs. It can stun stronger enemies for 5 seconds. Or it can actually retrieve items for you that are out of reach. So we're going to do a small demonstration of this. Okay, these hands are called Wall Masters, and if you go up against the wall, they will reveal themselves. Let's take this key quickly, and if you let yourself get clutched by one of these things, they will take you back to the entrance of the dungeon, which is an annoying inconvenience. But they do leave behind good money. So we want to also destroy all of them so we can rack up the rupees. Now here's there we go. So I actually got rid of this. You can use your boomerang to collect money as well if it's out of reach or it's in a dangerous spot for you to reach. Okay, so no more Wall Masters appear. So now we need to unlock the door and face the Guardian of the Triforce piece. And that takes up our last key. So, let's hit in and deal with our first boss. The Aquamentus Dragon. We gotta maintain a good safe distance. And it only took 3 hits to destroy because we had a better sword. collect our little fairy, which we don't need to, but we're going to do it just for fun. And here's our next heart container. So now we have 6 hearts total. Let's move on. And here's the prize of the dungeon itself, the piece of the Triforce. Let's collect it. Okay, so Link now has acquired the first piece of the Triforce. That's 1 down, 7 more pieces to go. Okay, so when we collect our Triforce, it is indicated as such in the Triforce pool as indicated in the menu. So now we gotta get more pieces. Oh, more bombs. Gimme. But now what we can do with the candle that we acquired earlier is that we can burn some of these shrubs to reveal even more secrets. But it has to be a specific shrub, like so. Burn a shrub, you can reveal a hidden stairway. Oh look, more money. Gimme. Another 30 rupees. Let's go look around and see if we can reveal even more secrets. Okay, another boost dungeon here. No, another booster room here. So, as always, you take the heart. You don't need the medicine. You can buy medicine later. So that's 7 hearts. Oops. Okay, so once you've actually collected what you need, the old man will not appear again, and you could just exit as normal. Okay, there's another. Okay, so you will have. Well, first of all, it's unprofessional for a shopkeeper to say that this is really expensive, but whatever, it's his prerogative. But anyways, this dungeon, this shield, while it may actually look expensive as first, is pretty much the cheapest you're gonna get. Because other shields in other stores will be priced at 120 rupees or even a whopping 160 rupees. So this is actually a pretty good deal for a larger shield. And once we get it, it's automatically equipped to Link, and he could just use it to deflect fireballs. As so the fireballs will not touch him as long as he has that shield up. But we do need to collect more rupees now because we spent a good amount on that. Oh, we got hit because we were off to the side of it. Oops. Yeah, it happens. And if Link gets too low on hearts, an alarm will sound to indicate that he's close to dying. So we gotta be very careful with how we move around. Let's see, I think there was one in here. So remember, we don't have the red candle, so we have to re-enter the room. Nope, okay, so that one did not have a secret area. This one does. This guy only gives me 10 rupees. Oh well. And it's only one secret per screen. So, if there's... one screen will not reveal more than one secret. So if you want to find more secrets, you have to move to the next screen. Let's try this. Now that's what I'm talking about. This is the big payout, 100 rupees. And if I manage to get 250 rupees, I can buy the most expensive item in the game, which is a blue ring, which cuts the damage done to Link by a quarter. And it will change Link's color too. Okay, so I can't get this, and unfortunately, while I can use the boomerang to retrieve the heart, I cannot use it to retrieve the rupee because it can only move at a quarter of the distance. So there's supposed to be another secret area over here. Because this game is chock full of secret areas. I think this one... Yep. Okay, here's the old lady. Now, she's not going to say anything unless you present a certain item to her, which we're going to need to get. Now we're in the desert. And of course, Link can also stab items in order to collect them too. Okay, so we need to go here. The northernmost cave on the northernmost shore. Show this to the old woman. So we're gonna take this. So this is a letter to the old woman, which we've encountered earlier, and we gotta show it to her in order to be eligible to get something else. I'm not gonna go that way just about yet. Hang on, I think there's another secret. Actually, I don't think there's a secret area here. No, see, not all evenly... So not all flat walls will reveal a hidden door. Okay, moving on. Boy, this is really expensive. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy this. This is basically baiting. This is meat which you can use to bait enemies, but it's only realistically good for a certain dungeon room, which we'll be encountering later. So I'm not really going to worry too much. But I do need to have this meat on hand so I can at least accomplish this task at a later time. Okay, back to full, so... Okay, moving on. So now we need to be over here. And move up this stair. Now here's the entrance to the second dungeon, so we're gonna go in here. Alright, here we are in level 2, the next dungeon, where the next Triforce piece lies. So what we're gonna need to do is do the exact same thing. Find a compass, find a map, find the special item of the dungeon, get the Triforce piece, defeat the Guardian, and after that, just exit and move on to the next dungeon. So these snakes here are called ropes, and they leave behind a lot of money. So if you really want to grind, if you just want to grind for rupees, this is where you want to be. Okay, we found ourselves the compass, so I want to go to use this. You can toss your boomerang to destroy weaker enemies like these gels here. Collect this. And that reveals the location for the next Triforce piece. Defeat all the enemies, shutters open. Okay, this leads back to the entrance. And if you leave a certain screen for a certain amount of time, the enemies will respawn, provided that you've killed off all the enemies previously. If not, then only one or two enemies will pretty much remain back on screen. Which is a good strategy to exercise if you don't really want to deal with too many enemies at once. But I'm fine clearing the screen full of enemies. Alright, so we're moving on. Okay, and when you destroy one Gorai, sometimes all the Gorais will be destroyed on screen. That means you found the chief. You kill the chief, all of his underlings will go with him. So let's unlock this door, see what's behind. And look, we found ourselves the map. Okay, so now the dungeon is now revealed in full. And it's in the shape of a crescent moon. So this is basically known as the Moon Dungeon. And some walls can also be blown up to reveal shortcuts or hidden areas. So let's take a look here. So we've blown up this wall and it revealed a hidden area. Or rather, it gives us a shortcut. So I want to also just destroy these Goraias here. Because it's the fastest way to get rid of them. And they left behind a certain item called the metal boomerang. So we had the regular wooden boomerang. The wooden boomerang can actually go all the way across from one end of the room to the other. And unfortunately, I had to sacrifice a little bit of life just to demonstrate its effects. But as you can see, you toss the boomerang. You can stun the enemy. Now I said 5 seconds earlier, but that doesn't seem to be accurate. That looks to be more like 3 seconds, so I do apologize for that little mistake. Okay, so that's cleared out all the enemies in here. We don't have to deal with the enemies in here anymore. So let's move on. Okay, so we got Moldorm. Little desert enemy here. Take out all of its pieces of its body. Okay, that's done. So you want to be able to use your sub weapons, but sometimes the game doesn't give you that privilege. But there is some spare bombs here. So now we've replenished our bombs, so let's keep moving through the dungeon. And you also want to make sure you pay attention to see if you've visited every room in the dungeon. It's not really mandatory, but if you're a completionist, it is just something that you might want to adapt. Okay, so we're making good strides here. Got ourselves a reward of 5 rupees. Alright, let's move up here a bit. We're almost done with this dungeon here. Okay. Found more bombs, but I don't want to use it immediately. Because sometimes you're going to hear enemy roars in the dungeon. Now, the roars of the enemies indicate that the guardian or the boss is close by, so you want to pay close attention to that. Alright. Dodongo dislikes smoke. Okay, Dodongo is the name of the dungeon boss that we're about to encounter. It's pretty much a big triceratops, but you'll see what I mean. So let's switch over. No need to pick that up because I'm already got full capacity. So you can defeat the Dongo here with one of two means. You can either make him eat 2 bombs, or you can make it choke on the smoke. It's dead. Collect our next heart container as a reward. So now we have 8 hearts. Okay, the Triforce room is nearby, but I want to first replenish my bombs by collecting this. And now let's finish up the dungeon. Second piece of the Triforce acquired. And when you get your Triforce piece, you're automatically whisked back to the overworld, so you don't have to backtrack. Now, on this front, guys, I will need to make a break, so I'll be right back. Alright, we're back, and let's get back right into the action here. Alright, 2 pieces of Triforce acquired. Let's go find the 3rd dungeon. And get the next piece. So you can see our inventory is filling up quite quickly. Okay, so I don't need to be here anymore. Let's go on. Nope. not gonna buy anything. Because I can get keys for free in a dungeon. Go this way now. Okay, here's what we could take now. We could take these arrows. So now that we have arrows, we can now use the bow. However, whenever you use an arrow with your bow, there's a cost of 1 rupee. So as you can see, our rupee total goes down by 1 for every arrow shot. So we gotta be mindful when we use these arrows. So I don't want to use these arrows just about yet. There will be a boss that we're gonna have to fight a little bit later, who will require us to make use of the bow and arrow. Now here's a hard container located right off the broken pier, but we need a special item to get to it. And here's another dock. But we also need another special item to make use of it. I'm beginning to wonder if there's a room. Nope, was it over here? No. I don't want to waste bombs trying to find out. Alright, found another secret moblin. Give me that beautiful money. Okay, so we're kind of going around in circles here. We do need to make our way to that 3rd dungeon. Come on. Oh. Is there a secret area in here? Yes. Only 10. Oh well. Okay, collect that. Make our way across the bridge here. Wait, I think there's also something over here I can collect. Okay, here's another cave. Meet the old man at the grave. Okay, so we have another clue here. Okay, so here's the old woman. Show her the letter. Buy medicine before you go. So she'll offer you medicine to purchase. So in this case, you get a choice of blue medicine, which is worth 40 rupees, or red medicine, which is worth 68 rupees. This is why we didn't bother taking the red medicine This is why we didn't bother to take the red medicine against the heart container, because you can always buy red medicine later. Heart containers are only like one and done. If you take the medicine, you'll never get another heart. So it's just better in this case to get medicine. Okay, and now we're stocked, and this medicine will help recover our life to full if we get too weak, which will be very important in later dungeons. Now here's a fairy fountain. If you meet up with them, they'll recover all your hearts to full. Reveal another hidden area, and it's a bust. So we have to now pay this guy his 20 rupees to repair his bushy door. Oh, fuck off. There we go. Okay, here's the next dungeon. Alright, level 3. Gotta put it back to the bombs, just in case. So, same spiel as before, get the map and the compass. Oh look, these giant blobs, known as Zols. Okay, only item I can get here is a key, let's move on. Freeze them up. Alright, got another key out of it. Let's go on. Next room. Okay, now these guys are called Dark Nuts. They're knights that cannot be hit from the front. You have to hit them from behind or from the side because they have very good protective shields. Although the better way to get rid of them is to hit them with bombs. But that would be if you're dealing with the blue ones. The red ones are actually easy to deal with. Okay, so the room forks in the west and the north. So let's go to the western chamber. Got ourselves a compass. So now we know the location of the Triforce. I'm going to ignore the locked room for the time being. See what else I can get here. This reveals some bombs, so that'll come a bit later. Okay, more Hershey's Kisses. Alright. They're called Zols, but I'll pretty much refer to them as Hershey's Kisses from now on, just because that's just the way they look. Okay, we got 4 keys, so we got 3 locked doors. Let's go into the eastern room here. And we found ourselves a map. And you can hear the monsters roar, which means we're close. Okay, so now we have a map that resembles not a swastika, but a manji symbol. There's a very big difference between the two. Now look, the Nazi swastika is positioned at a 45-degree angle, while the manji is positioned at a 90-degree angle. And this I have to clear that up. Both of them do not really mean the same thing. The manji is unfortunately and the swastika was a terrible bastardization of the Buddhist manji. Let's just make that perfectly clear. And I hope some of you will understand this. It's just, and like I said, it is just the way Japan designed this dungeon. So okay, don't shoot the messenger, please. Okay, this will lead us straight into the next room. Okay, so the boss is right in the next chamber, but we're not going to go in there just yet because we want to get the special item. These flashing things are like special skulls called bubbles. And if you get hit by one of them, they will not take away your life, but they will stun you for a few seconds where you cannot use your sword. So we're going to come back there a bit later. So let's see how much we have actually revealed. So let's go this way now. Okay, we killed off all the Hershey's Kisses in this room, but the shutter does not open, so we have to move one of these blocks. Alright, way is clear, let's move. Did you get the sword from the old man on top of the waterfall? Yes, I did. And I'm gonna demonstrate to you. There, take that. So you can shoot the old man, but you can't kill him, but he'll retaliate by throwing fireballs at you from the braziers in the fence. Alright, let's get rid of all these bats here. Okay, that just simply leads to a dead end. So we're gonna move back. Okay, and sometimes the enemies will respawn. But I will fight them again because they leave behind, because these souls do leave behind good money. So we're gonna head this way now. Okay, and these bats do leave behind the bombs, but I don't need to make use of the bombs right now. Get an extra key. Okay, so I got struck by one of the bubbles. I cannot use the sword, but I can use my sub-weapons here, like this boomerang. So it's pretty handy strategy to have if you're temporarily disabled from using the sword. Okay, let's move south. Now, it will probably be better for me to use a bomb because it will help me wipe out these darkness a lot quicker. Alright, they leave behind a bomb. Moving on. Oh, that just leads back into this room. Alright, we're pretty much done with this dungeon, but we do need to get that special item. Oops. There's a lot of these dark nuts in here, so we're gonna make good use of the bomb. Get rewarded by bombs for our trouble. Okay, so now we found our next special item, the raft. Just clear out these bats here with our trusty little boomerang. Okay, raft acquired. So any special items that cannot be used with the B button will just be positioned above the box that you saw above, and it will pretty much give Link an additional benefit. When used in a certain screen. Okay, so we got more of these guys, so we're gonna switch back to our bombs. Save us the trouble by using the boomerang, so we don't have to move all the way to the other side of the screen here. So now I want to get rid of these bats and collect the bomb reward here. Okay, now that everything's been acquired, we're now just going to go face the boss and collect the Triforce piece. Okay, yep, so all that's left to do is go to the chamber with the boss in it. Okay, I'm gonna save my bombs for this one. Don't want to just... Okay, here's the boss, Manhandla. Now, the key to destroying this boss is to destroy all 4 of its claws, and every claw that gets destroyed will cause the boss to move faster and faster, but I don't want to do it like that. I just want to see if I can get rid of them in one fell swoop. One well-placed bomb will destroy the boss instantly. Alright, we now completed our first row of heart containers, so now we have a second row of hearts to build. So this now puts us at 9 hearts. And now we can collect the Triforce piece. And when you do get the Triforce piece, it restores your entire life meter as well. So it doesn't just put you back to the entrance of the dungeon. It also restores your entire life meter, which is a pretty good courtesy this game will throw you. That's 3 pieces of the Triforce onto dungeon number 4. Okay, I just now want to go to that dock there, so now that I have a raft, I can make use of it. Raft is enabled. Now that gets us to level 4. Alright, same deal as before. Map, compass, special item, boss, then Triforce piece. That's another key. So, okay, we complete the Eagle, Moon, and Manji dungeons. Now these are pyres, and if you attack them, they split into 2 key spats. Now if we get a stronger sword, we can destroy them in one fell swoop and collect items from them. But not right now. The white sword is still too weak to destroy these enemies in full. So now we've entered a dark room. So what we're going to do is use the candle here to light the room up. So it's not just about destroying enemies and revealing secrets. You can use the candles to light up dark rooms. Got ourselves a little compass. Okay, nothing special got revealed in here. We don't need to worry about these guys because they don't leave behind any items or open up any special secrets. Alright, moving on. And we're going to be dealing with more dark chambers as we progress through the game, because every dungeon that we encounter gets more difficult than the last. Nope. Okay, moving on. Hershey's Kisses. Okay, let's get rid of these guys. Okay, nothing significant. We can't cross that little channel just about yet. We need to get a special item to do that. Okay. That just simply opens up the shutter. We'll go into the locked room a little bit later. Okay, now we're dealing with some new enemies called the Like-Likes. These oversized pancakes they can hurt you, but they can also eat up your large shield. So if you get yourself trapped within their bodies, you will end up losing your large shield within a couple seconds. And these bubbles will try to knock you into them. It's a dick move, but effective. Okay, let's reveal ourselves a little room. Okay, so we found the stepladder. So this will allow us to cross small bodies of water that are 1 tile wide. Okay, stepladder gets added to our inventory. We don't need to be in here anymore. Let's move back. So now we can use the stepladder to move across the bodies of water, which can also serve as a good means of protecting ourselves from enemies that might want to try and get onto our water tile, provided they're not flying enemies. Okay. Alright, so there's the map. Okay, so what we have here, there's more water in here, but the body of water here is 2 tiles wide, 2 to 4 tiles wide, so we won't be able to reach that map. So we have to access the area by another passage. Alright, let's go this way. Okay, with the stepladder we can now make our way across, unlock this, and we can now explore more of the dungeon. It does not reveal any special items I left behind. Okay. I don't need to relight this room because I know what it looks like, so we got ourselves the map. Okay, so this looks to be the Serpent Dungeon. Now, I remember what I said before. There are secret rooms in this dungeon that cannot be accessed by normal means. So you need to use something like this, like a bomb. And as you can see, we blew a hole in here. So we are in the Eye of the Serpent, and we are able to collect a rupee reward as a result. And as you can see, the dungeons are getting much more longer to complete. Okay, now we're locked in a room with a Manhandla. So some of the bosses you face in previous dungeons will serve as mid-bosses and others. Alright, next room. Walk into the waterfall, which I did. Thank you very much, Captain Obvious. Alright, let's light this bad boy up. Alright, now... get rid of all these pesky little bats. Alright, miss... Come on, stay... Alright, there we go, stay still. Alright, we're pretty much approaching the Triforce room, so... we will, at some point, we will end up having to face the boss. Okay. Okay, nothing new here. I'll let these retract a bit. We've taken a lot of hits earlier, so... and we don't have a fairy. We do have a red medicine, just in case. So we have to move this. So, okay, the boss room is right next door. So let's make sure that we've checked all the chambers. Alright. I guess that's good enough, so we're gonna have to chance it. So here's our next boss, Gleeok, and unfortunately, our shield cannot deflect its fireballs. It's two-headed, we gotta get rid of both heads in order to beat it. But we are getting weak. That's one head, and another head will, and that head will fly around very frequently. It will serve as a distraction, I cannot destroy it. And I am getting... see, I'm now one more hit away from dying, so we're gonna make use of this. We get one more use of the medicine afterwards, but we gotta make sure, but we gotta preserve it carefully. Alright, got the next heart, so now we are at a full 10 hearts. And now we get the Triforce piece. Alright. 4 pieces of Triforce collected. No, doesn't look like this one will reveal anything. Oh, what am I doing? No. Let's take a look over here. Nope, that didn't work. Can't dodge them all. Alright. It's a secret to everybody. Okay, got 30 rupees out of it. Okay, we're back at the starting screen. Okay, we found a medicine shop that's nearby. That's good. But I don't need medicine immediately, because I get one more use out of that bottle. Alright, let's get on with it. Let's see if I get an herb. Okay, found another hut. Let's hope I don't have to pay money. Okay. Okay, here's a gambling house. If for every 10 rupees you spend, you see whether you can win either 50 rupees, or you could end up losing, like roughly 20 rupees. But like I said, you have to choose one and pray that you've made the right choice. I did not make the right choice. I lost 40 rupees in this little betting house. And I did not. Nope. And the results were not favorable. Oh well, I can still make the rupees back. It's not the end of the world. So if I remember correctly, I think there might be another. Nope. There's one over here. Nope. Okay, nope, no secret area here. I know for a fact that there's no secret area over here, so I have to move on. Okay, we're gonna collect the heart over here. Use the stepladder. Alright, next heart. Collected. We don't need to use the stepladder on this pier. It really doesn't lead to anything. But we can use the raft here. Take anyone you want. Getting the heart. Alright. Only 4 more hearts to go. So we got ourselves a full 12 hearts. Need that. Okay, so we're gonna go back up this way. Now, as you can see, you may think this is a dungeon, but really, it's another gambling house. And I'm not gonna play anything. But there's also a secret spot here I can make use of. A hidden stairway. And I get some money. A full 100 rupees. Alright, and now that I have nearly an entire... now I'm only like 2 rupees away from a capped purse. And with it... Okay, so what we're gonna do now with this money is go buy the most expensive item in the game, which is the blue ring. Like I said, as Earl stated earlier, it'll cut damage to Link by 25%, so it'll be imperative for use in the later dungeons. Because Up to now, we've already completed all the simple dungeons. Dungeons 5 through 8 are not pushovers. They will challenge you. And the enemies there don't take shit from anyone, not even Link. So that's why it's important for us to build ourselves appropriately so we can handle that extra challenge. So let's make our way up to the special shop that has that. And of course, your purse caps at 255 rupees, not 256. It's not like Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. So, in order to access the secret shop that has a blue ring, we gotta press against this Armos here. Boy, this is really expensive, but the meat is nice and cheap, but we don't need the meat, we just need the ring. Alright. With the ring acquired, the damage that will be inflicted upon us will be cut by 25%, and this will change Link's color as well, to blue. So this will help us. But now what we're going to need to do is head this way. Ah, yes, more money. More money's always good. And I get another full 100. Okay, so this will come in handy when we need to replenish medicine. Okay, so here we are in a place called the Lost Woods. So, if you were just to do nothing but move in one direction, you're just going to be met with the same screen over and over and over again, unless you move in a specific direction. So first we're going to move up, then we're going to move left, south, and west. And we're out. Now we're dealing with more of these Lionels, the residents of Death Mountain, and they will take off good damage off your total life. Now we're in the grave, so we have to look for the old man in the grave. So we gotta go this way. Here's an interesting thing. If you touch any of these graves, it'll pretty much bring these here ghosts to life. But here's the thing. Here's the kicker. Only one of the ghosts can be harmed with your sword. And if you destroy all the ghosts, And if you destroy this ghost, all the other ghosts will go with them. But one grave will not activate a ghost. Master using it, and you can have this. So this is the magical sword, also known as the Master Sword. And we have just enough hearts to make use of it. So now we got the best sword in the game. So now we can inflict even more damage on the enemies. But now here's the kicker. We're not going to make our way further down into the mountain. We're just going to move. We're going to change course. Or wait. Maybe we can still make our way through the mountain here. I'm not going to move up that ladder, though, because... I'm sorry, not up those stairs, though, because that leads to level 6 dungeon. Here's some more armors, but they do not reveal a hidden area. We're going to need to make use of the bomb here. Buy medicine before you go. Let's take a look. Okay. We do not need to make any more... We do not need to buy any more arrows or bombs. But wait, we do... But we could still expand our bomb inventory a little bit later. So I'm not gonna buy medicine immediately. Also, one of these armors will have a special bracelet here, so we're gonna do this. Okay, so now we have the power bracelet, which will allow us to move rocks. So now here we are in Death Mountain. There's a door right there, but I know that belongs to an old man who wants his repair bill to be fronted by Link. Okay, so we're not gonna worry about that. Oh wait, no, we have to go this way. Okay, here we are. So, when the old woman said to move up the mountainside, this is pretty much what she meant. So we're gonna keep moving up this way. And this reveals the next dungeon entrance. Alright, level 5. Here we go. We're gonna keep this on hand because we're gonna be dealing with a lot more dark rooms. Okay, now these particular enemies are called Pole's Voices. They hate loud noise, but they can also be destroyed with bows and arrows too. And they can be destroyed in one fell swoop if you shoot an arrow along the straight line and they happen to be in a straight line. Now, these mummies are called Gibdo, and they do take a lot of hits to destroy. But I have the Master Sword, so that would reduce the amount of hits needed. Digdogger hates certain kind of sound. Digdogger is the guardian of this dungeon. So we will need to collect a specific item that will allow us to destroy it. Okay, we got more of these Dodongos here. And now this is one way to destroy them. It's like when we saw on the moon, what we saw originally in the moon dungeon was that if you feed them 2 bombs, it will destroy them. But if you allow them to choke on the smoke from a detonated bomb, it will weaken their skin enough for them. It will weaken their skin enough for you to stab them with and just kill them more easily that way. And you can also earn items as well. So you have to it needs to be well placed. There you go. Pardon me. More Hershey's Kisses. Got another key. This one has a bomb in its wrappings. Oh, that makes it so much more easier. So that's all I get out of these guys. And I'm locked in. So if you're locked in, you got to make sure you're not soft locked. If you don't have, because to be soft locked means you don't have any bombs. But since I do have any bombs, I have a means of getting out. So we're gonna bomb this wall, and there you go. Always have enough bombs when you go into a dungeon, because you don't want to be put into a precarious situation like that. Okay, 1247. And we found our map. So now this is basically the turtle. So this is basically the turtle dungeon, and this is going to reveal the turtle's head. So let's just see how much we've revealed of the dungeon so far. Okay, there's an additional room in the lower jaw of the dungeon. Okay, so I'm gonna use another bomb. See what we find in here. Oh, and there's a room full of dark nuts here. These are the blue ones. These guys are a pain in the ass to beat if you do not have the bombs. So bombs are pretty much strongly recommended for a dungeon like this. Okay, and now we found a hidden passage which will lead us to another part of the dungeon. Sometimes some dungeons are going to have hidden passages, and we'll see more of these as we go along. Right, so we're here in one room, so let's see where this leads us. Okay, another room with dark nuts. Okay, so then we have to move this just to reveal what we can find. Alright, found the key item of the dungeon, the recorder. Okay, with this, it'll help us beat the boss. Now we're gonna move out. Okay, now there looks to be something special in the eye of the turtle, so let's see if I can bomb our way in. Nope. This wall is rock solid. Will not give in to bombs. And that's the end of our keys. But we found another key, so we're good. Okay, let's check in here. That did not reveal the eye either. Okay, and we are fresh out of bombs, so we're gonna have to restock. Oh, these guys respawn, so let's get rid of them. And hopefully we can get some more bombs out of it. And you need to worry about these guys anymore. Hershey's Kisses. And just a monetary reward, nothing else. More than give those. Okay, this is the map room, clearly. Yeah, it's the map room. Okay, so we're gonna be heading back. Now we're gonna go into... I'm just gonna go right in... Okay, got the bombs. So we now have the... We now have basically the mid-room between the upper and the lower jaw of the turtle. Cool. Alright. Map and compass acquired, and okay, we've already mapped out the entire lower jaw of the turtle and part of its head. Alright. Getting this, oh. See if I can get rid of these. Okay, that didn't reveal anything special, but we do have keys now. Let's move in. Okay, got my bombs replenished. That's good. Okay, got another key. Right. Okay, let's just move this. Okay, I guess I'm gonna need to move a little bit further in here. See if I can bomb this spot. Okay. Okay, there's supposed to be another hidden area, but I can't access it via a bomb. So I'd have to go all the way back to the beginning of the dungeon in order to access that spot. You know what, that's fine. We'll just continue on as normal. Alright, and we are close to the boss, so let's... You can hear the monsters roar. That shows that you're getting close. Okay, here's the entrance into the eye. Now let's see, what is it? Secret power is said to be in the arrow. Oh yes, all that just to get Captain Obvious to confirm something for me. How nice. I love this game sometimes. Alright, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go fight the boss. Now that we have the recorder, so we gotta make use of this. Okay, you can see I can't use the sword, so we have to use this. Got ourselves a next heart, only 3 more hearts left to go. And we are trapped in the Gibdo room. Okay, just reveal. Okay, there's nothing in here, so the upper hook, the upper lip just gives us just a room full of Gibdos, and that's it. Alright. Anywho, let's collect the Triforce. Okay. So, more or less, our job in this dungeon is done, but there is still one room that I have not explored that I want to explore. So, first, let's take a look. We do have 5 pieces, only 3 pieces remain. Oh. I've got to get rid of these guys. Okay. So, we have now 15 of the 18 hearts needed. No, hang on. 13 of the 16 hearts needed, miscalculated. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So I do want to just get that one extra room. And if I can at least earn a little bit more on the side, so be it. And we cannot move the block until all these Dark Nuts are beaten. And I do not like fighting Dark Nuts because of what a pain in the ass they are. Thankfully, I have the Master Sword, so I do not need to spend too much time destroying each and every last one of them. Oh, you lousy. Okay, at least they got fairies. That's the important thing. Alright. Now let's see what's inside that other secret room. Alright. Cleared out all the riffraff in here. Let's now take a look at what's in here. Alright. I bet you'd like to have more bombs. I bet you I would. Alright, all that money spent. Now let's... yeah. Unfortunately, does not reveal anything else, because those are solid walls. But we've increased our bomb capacity to 12, so that pretty much now ends our duties in this dungeon, so we can head on out. So that completes level 5. Heading ourselves out of here. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is, I'm pretty much gonna be looking at ending the stream, and then we'll continue on with the adventure next stream as we get the last 3 pieces of the Triforce and save Princess Zelda from Ganon's dungeon. So, in order for us to do that, what we're gonna do is, let me take a quick look here. I'm going to first go to level 6 dungeon, just to show you how it is. But we're not going to be completing level 6 dungeon. We're just going to get ourselves killed off in level 6 dungeon so I can save the game. Now, there is another way to save the game, but I don't really want to... But I unfortunately do not have this... It requires the use of the second player controller enabled, and I don't really want to go through the trouble of configuring that. So, I'm just going to get Link killed off here quickly, so we can pretty much just save the game. And yeah. So here's level 6. I'm not gonna worry about. Well, we're not gonna be going around exploring the dungeon in full. I just want to get Link killed off here because this is a pretty tough ass dungeon. And as you can see, the magic that these guys do, the whiz ropes, they'll take off a lot of your health, and this is a good way if you just want to off yourself. So I'm just gonna let them off me just so I can save my game. And that's it for this adventure, so we're gonna save. Okay, that's our first save, and it increments the save counter to 1, and we are pretty much now done our little adventure for today. Okay, so back to the bubble screen. Alright guys, so thanks for joining me today. We're also just going to take a look at, we did have a couple followers, a couple streams ago. So for Hikari, Kugari, and Rikros Lacoste, thank you very much for following RPG Capper. Very much appreciate. So now we're gonna see who can raid today. So just give me a quick moment. All right. So Ustra Hazu is on, so we're gonna be raiding our good friend Ustra Hazu. Okay, guys, we're raiding Ustra Hazu, and for that I say is see you all next stream. Take care and have a good one.